Have you ever reached a point where you quietly realize you can't always count on family? Not because they don't love you, but because life changes. Kids get busy. Siblings have their own problems. Friends move away or slowly disappear. And suddenly, you're left asking, who can I really rely on when it's just me? That moment hits hard. It's not dramatic. It's quiet, lonely, and real. But here's what most people don't realize. You are never truly alone if you've built the right supports within your life. Because even when family can't be there, you can still be held by strength you've built yourself. In this video, I'll walk you through 7 things every senior must rely on for happiness, health, and peace. Things no one can take from you. Things that won't grow distant, forget to call, or leave you feeling like a burden. These 7 anchors will help you feel grounded, confident, and emotionally free, no matter who stays or who fades away. Let's begin. Number 1. Physical mobility. At first glance, physical mobility just means getting from point A to point B. But as you age, it becomes something far more powerful, your ticket to independence, freedom, and dignity. Because when you can move your body, even a little, you're not waiting on anyone to help you out of bed, make your breakfast, or take you outside. You're deciding when the day begins. You're staying in control of your own rhythm. Think about it. Mobility isn't just about muscles or balance. It's about confidence. It's emotional support, disguised as motion. The more you trust your legs, your core, your posture, the less you fear being a burden. You don't worry about being too much trouble to someone else. You go where you want, when you want. And no, this doesn't mean running laps or lifting weights. It could be as simple as stretching your arms in the morning, taking a slow walk around the block, doing a few minutes of chair yoga. Because motion, any motion, is a declaration that you're still here, still capable. There's an older gentleman in my neighborhood, Harold. Every day, he walks laps around the park, cane in hand, steady as ever. I once asked him why he's so committed. He smiled and said, "Because when I stop walking, I start waiting. And I don't want to wait. I want to live." That's what mobility gives you. Not just movement, but the deep peace of self-reliance. Number 2. Financial simplicity. When you're older, peace doesn't come from having a huge bank account. It comes from knowing exactly what you need, where your money goes, and how to live without fear of running out. Clarity, not wealth, is what gives you stability. At this stage in life, complicated finances don't just stress you out. They steal your energy, your sleep, and your confidence. Juggling credit cards, auto payments, forgotten subscriptions, stacks of bills. It becomes a quiet form of chaos. And let's be honest, even the most loving family members can't always swoop in to sort it out. That's why financial simplicity becomes your anchor. It's not about living with less, it's about living without the extra stress. Downsizing your home, cutting unnecessary expenses, using one credit card instead of 5. When things are simple, your mind is calmer. You're not scared to check the mail or open your bank app. You feel in control. Take Lorraine, a 74-year-old widow who once told me, "I used to dread the mailbox. Now I open every envelope with a clear head and a calm heart." She downsized to a smaller home, canceled everything she didn't use, and created a small jar labeled Freedom Fund. Just $10 here and there, but it reminded her that she was in charge of her money, not the other way around. That's what this is about. When your finances are clear, you don't need to rely on anyone to explain, fix, or rescue. You become your own steady foundation. Number 3. Consistent health routine. In your 70s and beyond, one of the strongest sources of support isn't a doctor or a family member. It's your daily routine. The small, steady things you do for your body and mind every single day. You don't need extreme workouts or trendy diets. You need rhythm. You need habits. Because every time you show up for yourself, you're reinforcing a message. I still matter. I'm still in motion. I take care of me. Let me tell you about Frank. He's 81 years old and used to work as an electrician. Every morning at 6 a.m., he makes a cup of green tea, does 15 minutes of gentle chair stretches, takes his medication, and walks around the block, rain or shine. When I asked him why, he said, "It's not about fitness. It's about reminding myself I'm still here." Frank's ritual isn't impressive on paper, but it's deeply powerful. It grounds him, because routine creates stability. It eliminates the stress of decision-making. You don't have to wonder, should I do this today? You just do it. And that predictability becomes emotional support. You don't need to be perfect. Some days your joints ache. Some days your energy dips. That's okay. The goal is consistency, not intensity. A short walk, a stretch by the window, drinking water before bed. These aren't chores, they're anchors. And when you're anchored, you're more independent. You forget less, you fall less, you fear less. You become your own caregiver and your own best support. Number 4, emotional resilience. If there's one kind of strength that becomes more valuable with each passing year, it's emotional resilience. Not wealth, not even health, but the quiet ability to face life's storms without falling apart. Aging brings inevitable losses, a partner, a friend, a sense of physical ease. But what determines how you weather those changes isn't how much support you have around you, it's how you carry yourself through them. Emotional resilience doesn't mean you never feel sad. It means you feel everything: grief, frustration, loneliness, but you don't let those feelings define you. You let them move through you without letting them root inside you. Take Eileen. She's 77. She lost her husband 5 years ago and now lives alone. I once asked her, "How do you get through the nights that feel heavy?" She said, "I light a candle every evening, not because I'm religious, but because it reminds me I'm still here." Some nights she cries, some nights she laughs, but every night she whispers to herself, "You made it through today." That's emotional resilience. It's not about being unshakable. It's about being flexible enough to bend without breaking. And it's a kind of strength you can build by creating small, grounding rituals, by letting feelings exist without judgment, by reminding yourself, you've survived every hard day so far. That's not luck, that's strength. Because when your emotions are steady, you don't just survive aging, you meet it with grace. Number 5, a personal code of values. As we get older, many of the roles and relationships that once defined us begin to fade. Children grow up, careers end, friends come and go. And suddenly, you're left with a powerful question. Who am I when no one's watching? That's where a personal code of values becomes everything. It's not about impressing anyone. It's not about following rules. It's about knowing what you stand for and letting that guide your life, especially after 70. Because when the external world shifts, when people disappoint, when health wavers, when routines are disrupted, your internal compass keeps you steady. Let me tell you about Howard. He's 82 and lives a quiet, modest life. One afternoon, I asked him, "What's your secret to feeling so grounded?" He smiled and said, "I follow 5 rules. I speak the truth. I never waste food. I always return what I borrow. I forgive fast. And I sleep with a clear conscience." That's it. Simple, but powerful. Because those 5 rules keep him from drifting when life throws curveballs. Psychologically, having a personal code reduces regret. It simplifies decisions. It builds confidence. You're no longer constantly asking, "Did I do the right thing?" You know what's right, for you. And perhaps most importantly, you stop seeking approval. You're no longer performing. You're living in alignment with yourself. That's peace. That's integrity. That's freedom. And it's one of the strongest supports you can ever rely on, even when no one else is around. Number 6. Mental engagement. After 70, many people worry about memory loss, forgetting names, misplacing keys, or losing their train of thought mid-sentence. But here's something we don't talk about enough. Mental engagement is about staying alive in the world, not remembering everything perfectly. Your brain doesn't need to be flawless. It needs to be used, challenged, stretched, inspired. Because when the mind stays curious, so does the spirit. You feel connected, relevant, and capable. Not because you can recite facts, but because you're still growing. Think of it this way. The brain is like a garden. It doesn't die with age. It just needs fresh seeds. That might mean reading a few pages of a book each night, or journaling about your day, or mentoring someone younger, or learning a new skill, whether it's painting, digital photography, or using your smartphone in a new way. Mental engagement isn't academic, it's emotional. It reminds you that you still have thoughts worth sharing, questions worth asking, and ideas that matter. In fact, research shows that seniors who keep learning report better moods, stronger resilience, and even slower cognitive decline. So don't think of mental sharpness as a test you need to pass. Think of it as an invitation to stay present, to stay curious, and to keep surprising yourself. Because when your mind stays open, you never truly grow old. Number 7. Meaningful solitude. As we grow older, solitude becomes a bigger part of life. Children move away. Friends relocate or pass on. The phone rings less often. And suddenly, you're faced with long, quiet hours, alone. But here's the truth. Solitude is not the same as loneliness. Loneliness is the ache for connection. Solitude is the gift of presence, your own. Most people fear being alone because they never learned how to be alone. They confuse silence with sadness. But meaningful solitude is one of the most powerful, healing forms of support you can cultivate, especially when others can't be there. This is the time to turn inward, not shut down. Use it to walk slowly in nature, to sit with your coffee and just think, to create small rituals, lighting a candle, tending a garden, writing in a journal, to rediscover the simple joy of a quiet hobby, knitting, sketching, music, reading. These are not ways to pass the time. They are ways to come home to yourself. When you make peace with solitude, you stop waiting for someone else to make you feel whole. You become your own calm, your own company, your own sanctuary. And the irony? Once you're no longer afraid to be alone, you feel more connected to everything. So don't fear the quiet. Learn to live in it. Because in solitude, you'll find not emptiness, but depth. You may not always have others to lean on, but that doesn't mean you're unsupported. Because real support isn't always found in people. It's found in habits, in clarity, in strength, in values. It's found in you. So take a quiet moment. Reflect. Which of these 7 supports are already part of your life? And which one are you ready to grow, starting today? Let us know in the comments. We read everyone. If this video spoke to you, please subscribe for more content that empowers aging, not fears it. And if you know someone building their own foundation after 70, share this video with them. It might be exactly what they need to hear today.